Penny, that's where I sit.
Sit next to me.
No, I sit there.
What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Here we go.
In the winter, that seat is close enough to the radiator to remain warm and yet not so close as to cause perspiration. In the summer, it's directly in the path of a cross breeze created by opening windows there and there. It faces the television at an angle that is neither direct, thus discouraging conversation, nor so far wide as to create a parallax distortion. I could go on, but I think I've made my point.
Me? Okay. I'm a Sagittarius, which probably tells you way more than you need to know.
Yes, it tells us that you participate in the mass cultural delusion that the sun's apparent position relative to arbitrarily defined constellations at the time of your birth somehow affects your personality.
Participate in the what?
I think what Sheldon's trying to say is that Sagittarius wouldn't have been our first guess.
Marathon? Wow, how many Superman movies are there?
You're kidding, right?
You know, I do like the one where Lois Lane falls from the helicopter and Superman swooshes down and catches her. Which one was that?
One. You realize that scene was rife with scientific inaccuracy.
Yes, I know men can't fly.
No, let's assume that they can. Lois Lane is falling, accelerating at an initial rate of 32 feet per second. Superman swoops down to save her by reaching out two arms of steel. Miss Lane, who is now traveling at approximately 120 miles an hour, hits them and is immediately sliced into 3 equal pieces.
Unless Superman matches her speed and decelerates.
In what space, sir? In what space? She's 2 feet above the ground. Yeah, frankly, if he really loved her, he'd let her hit the pavement. It'd be a more merciful death.
Excuse me, your entire argument is predicated on the assumption that Superman's flight is a feat of strength.
Are you listening to yourself? It is well established that Superman's flight is a feat of strength. It is an extension of his ability to leap tall buildings, an ability he derives from exposure to Earth's yellow sun.
And you don't have a problem with that? How does he fly at night?
A combination of the moon's solar reflection and the energy storage capacity of Kryptonian skin cells.
I'm just gonna go wash up.
I have 2,600 comic books in there. I challenge you to find a single reference to Kryptonian skin cells.
Challenge accepted. We're locked out. You know, I'm not going to enjoy this party.
I know. I'm familiar with you.
The last apartment party, Professor Finkelday cornered me and talked about spelunking for 45 minutes.
Yes, I was there.
You know what's interesting about caves, Leonard?
What?
Nothing.
Well, then we'll avoid Finkelday. We'll meet the new department head, congratulate him, shake his hand, and go.
How's this? Pleased to meet you, Dr. Gablehauser. How fortunate for you that the university has chosen to hire you, despite the fact that you've done no original research in 25 years, and instead have written a series of popular books that reduce the great concepts of science to a series of anecdotes, each one dumbed down to accommodate the duration of an average bowel movement.
Slow down. Slow down. Please, slow down.
We're fine.
You're not leaving yourself enough space between cars.
Oh, sure I am.
No, let me do the math for you. This car weighs, let's say, 4,000 pounds. Now add 140 for me, 120 for you.
120?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I insult you? Is your body mass somehow tied into your self-worth?
Well, yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, that gives us a total weight of, let's say, 4,400 pounds.
Let's say 4,390.
Fine. We're traveling forward at, good Lord, 51 miles an hour. Now, let's assume that your brakes are new and the calipers are aligned. Still, by the time we come to a stop, we'll be occupying the same space as that Buick in front of us. An impossibility that nature will quickly resolve into death, mutilation. Oh, look, they built a new putt-putt course.
It's the logical fallacy of extending someone's argument to ridiculous proportions and then criticizing the result, and I do not appreciate it.
I'll get you a blanket and a pillow.
Okay, well, since I'm obviously being ignored here, let's go over the morning schedule. I use the bathroom from 7 to 7:20. Plan your ablutions and bodily functions accordingly.
How am I supposed to plan my bodily functions?
I suggest no liquids after 11 p.m.
There you go.
Thanks, Leonard.
Wrong.
I'm listening.
Your head goes on the other end.
Why?
It's culturally universal. A bed, even a temporary bed, is always oriented with the headboard away from the door. It serves the ancient imperative of protecting oneself against marauders.
I'll risk it. Anything else I should know?
Yes, if you use my toothbrush, I'll jump out that window. Please don't come to my funeral. Have a good night.
What are you doing?
Every Saturday since we've lived in this apartment, I have awakened at 6:15, poured myself a bowl of cereal, added a quarter cup of 2% milk, sat on this end of this couch, turned on BBC America, and watched Doctor Who.
And he's still sleeping.
Every Saturday since we've lived in this apartment, I've awakened at 6:15, poured myself a bowl of cereal.
I know. Look, you have a TV in your room. Why don't you just have breakfast in bed?
Because I'm neither an invalid nor a woman celebrating Mother's Day.
We're 26 years old, Rajesh. We want grandchildren.
But Papa, I'm not supposed to...
Lalita's parents approve the match?
If you decide on a spring wedding, we can avoid monsoon season.
A spring wedding?
It's up to you, Devi. We don't want to meddle.
If you don't want to meddle, then why are you meddling?
If I may, your parents probably don't consider this meddling. While arranged marriages are no longer the norm, Indian parents continue to have a greater than average involvement in their children's love lives.
Why are you telling me about my own culture?
Hi, guys.
Oh, hey.
I need some guinea pigs.
Okay, there's a lab animal supply company in Reseda you could try. But if your research is going to have human applications, may I suggest white mice instead? Their brain chemistry is far closer to ours.
I swear to God, Sheldon, one day I'm gonna get the hang of talking to you.
Sheldon, why is this letter in the trash?
Well, there's always the possibility that a trash can spontaneously formed around the letter. But Occam's razor would suggest that someone threw it out.
It's from the Institute for Experimental Physics. They want us to present our paper on the properties of supersolids at the topical conference on Bose-Einstein condensates.
I know. I read it before I threw it out.
Okay, if I may drill down to the bedrock of my question, why did you throw it out?
Because I have no interest in standing in the Rose Room of the Pasadena Marriott in front of a group of judgmental strangers who wouldn't recognize true genius if it were standing in front of them giving a speech. Which, if I were there, it would be. Here's the problem with teleportation.
Lay it on me.
Assuming a device could be invented which would identify the quantum state of matter of an individual in one location and transmit that pattern to a distant location for reassembly, you would not have actually transported the individual. You would have destroyed him in one location and recreated him in another.
How about that?
Personally, I would never use a transporter because the original Sheldon would have to be disintegrated in order to create a new Sheldon.
Would the new Sheldon be in any way an improvement on the old Sheldon?
No, he would be exactly the same.
That is a problem. Oh, no.
What?
That's Penny's ex-boyfriend.
What do you suppose he's doing here, besides disrupting the local gravity field?
If he were any bigger, he'd have moons orbiting him.
Oh, snap. So I guess we'll be leaving now.
Why should we leave? For all we know, he crashed the party and Penny doesn't even want him here.
You have a backup hypothesis?
Maybe they just want to be friends.
Or maybe she wants to be friends and he wants something more.
Then he and I are on equal ground.
Yes, but you're much closer to it than he is.
Look, if this was 15,000 years ago, by virtue of his size and strength, Kurt would be entitled to his choice of female partners.
And male partners, animal partners, large primordial eggplants, pretty much whatever tickled his fancy.
Yes, but our society has undergone a paradigm shift. In the information age, Sheldon, you and I are the alpha males. We shouldn't have to back down.
True. Why don't you text him that and see if he backs down?
No. I'm going to assert my dominance face to face.
Face to face? Are you going to wait for him to sit down or are you going to stand on the coffee table?
Hello, Penny. Hello, Kurt.
Oh, hey guys, you having a good time?
Given the reaction to my costume, this party is a scathing indictment of the American education system.
What, you're a zebra, right?
Yet another child left behind.
And what are you supposed to be, an elf?
No, I'm a hobbit.
What's the difference?
A hobbit is a mortal halfling inhabitant of Middle-earth, whereas an elf is an immortal tall warrior.
So why the hell would you want to be a hobbit?
Because he's neither tall nor immortal, and none of us could be the Flash.
Well, whatever. Why don't you go hop off on a quest? Talking to Penny here.
I think we're all talking to Penny here.
I'm not. No offense.
Okay, maybe you didn't hear me. Go away.
All right, Kurt, be nice.
Oh, I am being nice. Right, little buddy?
Kurt.
Okay. I understand your impulse to try to physically intimidate me. I mean, you can't compete with me on an intellectual level, and so you're driven to animalistic puffery.
Call me a puffy animal?
Oh, of course not. No, he's not. You're not, right, Leonard?
No, I said animalistic. I mean, of course, we're all animals, but some of us have climbed a little higher on the evolutionary tree.
If he understands that, you're in trouble.
So what? I'm unevolved?
You're in trouble.
You know, you use a lot of big words for such a little dwarf.
Okay, Kurt, please.
No, Penny, it's okay. I can handle this. I am not a dwarf. I'm a hobbit. A hobbit. Are misfiring neurons in your hippocampus preventing the conversion from short-term to long-term memory?
Okay, now you're starting to make me mad.
A Homo habilis discovering his opposable thumb says what?
What?
I think I've made my point.
Yeah? How about I make a point out of your pointy little head?
Let me remind you, while my moral support is absolute, in a physical confrontation, I will be less than useless.
There's not going to be a confrontation. In fact, I doubt if he can even spell confrontation. Oh.
C-O-N... Frontation.
What the hell's going on?
You hypocrite.
What?
Little miss, grown-ups don't play with toys. If I went into that apartment right now, would I not find Beanie Babies? Are you not an accumulator of Care Bears and My Little Ponies? And who is that Japanese feline I see frolicking on your shorts? Hello, hello, kitty.
No, see, the liquid metal Terminators were created in the future by Skynet. And Skynet was developed by Miles Dyson, but that future no longer exists due to Dyson's death in Terminator 2.
Okay, then riddle me this. Assuming all the good Terminators were originally evil Terminators created by Skynet, but then reprogrammed by the future John Connor, why would Skynet, an artificial computer intelligence, bother to create a petite, hot 17-year-old killer robot?
Skynet is kinky? I don't know.
Artificial intelligences do not have teen fetishes.
All right, oh, wait, they use it to male and...
Too late, I win. Leonard. Leonard. Leonard.
Let it go, Sheldon. The murderer was a first mate, whether it makes sense to you or not.
No, that's the least of our worries. I've been doing some research on addiction, both the biochemical and behavioral aspects, and I think there's a problem with the current version of our lie.
What are you talking about? It's fine. She bought it. It's over.
Sadly, it's not. Substance abuse is a lifelong struggle, but beyond that, I have realized that the Leo I described would not have agreed to go to rehab.
Why not?
Because Leo's a middle child.
There's no Leo. How can you say that?
You didn't read the bio, did you? He's not just a middle child. He is the quintessential middle child, from a broken home to boot. Psychologically speaking, the attention he gets by rebelling, even to the point of self-destruction, is more emotionally valuable than the help he would get at rehab.
I've got a solution.
Great, what is it?
Get out!
Fine. I've I've hesitated to point this out, but I must now remind you that we are in our current predicament because of your initial and totally inadequate deceit. I'm just trying to clean up after your mess. We'll talk in the morning. Leonard. Leonard. Leonard.
It'd be so much easier if I were a violent sociopath.
Leonard.
What?
I was analyzing our lie, and I believe we're in danger of Penny seeing through the ruse.
How?
Simple. If she were to log on to www.socalphysicsgroup.org/activities/other, click on upcoming events, scroll down to seminars, download the PDF schedule, and look for the seminar on molecular positronium, well then, bippity-boppity-boo, our pants are metaphorically on fire. Well, sir, my trousers will not be igniting today.
I don't...
Think, woman, who blew their nose and when?
Sheldon, relax. She doesn't have any symptoms. I'm sure she's not contagious.
Oh, please. If influenza was only contagious after symptoms appear, it would have died out thousands of years ago. Somewhere between tool using and cave painting, Homo habilis would have figured out to kill the guy with the runny nose.
Penny, you'll have to excuse Sheldon. He's a bit of a germaphobe.
Oh, it's okay. I understand.
Thanks for your consideration. Now, please leave. And what about your team? What rat have you recruited to the SS sinking ship?
Hello, Sheldon.
Leslie Winkle.
Yeah, Leslie Winkle. The answer to the question, who made Sheldon Cooper cry like a little girl?
Yes? Well, I'm polymerized tree sap, and you're an inorganic adhesive, so whatever verbal projectile you launch in my direction is reflected off of me, returns on its original trajectory, and adheres to you.
Oh, ouch.
Okay, if everyone could please take your seats.
Leonard, it's 2 a.m.
So?
So it's my turn. Why'd you set it for the day before yesterday?
Because I want to go back and keep myself from getting a time machine.
You can't. If you were to prevent yourself from buying it in the past, you would not have it available in the present to travel back and stop yourself from buying it. Ergo, you would still have it. This is a classic rookie time travel mistake.
Can I go back and prevent you from explaining that to me?
Same paradox. If you were to travel back in time and say, knock me unconscious, you would not then have the conversation that irritated you, motivating you to go back and knock me unconscious.
What if I knocked you unconscious right now?
It won't change the past.
Forget about the cake. How did you know that my birthday's Saturday?
I did your horoscope, remember? I was going to do everybody's until Sheldon went on one of his typical psychotic rants.
For the record, that psychotic rant was a concise summation of the research of Bertram Forer, who in 1948 proved conclusively through meticulously designed experiments that astrology is nothing but pseudoscientific hokum.
Blah, blah, blah. Typical Taurus.
Can you bring a friend?
I think a birthday party is a terrible idea. I envy Leonard for growing up without that anguish.
Anguish?
Year after year, I had to endure wearing conical hats while being forced into the crowded, sweaty hell of bouncy castles. Not to mention being blindfolded and spun toward a grotesque tailless donkey as the other children mocked my disorientation.
Sheldon, I didn't see your present.
That's because I didn't bring one.
Why not?
Don't ask. The entire institution of gift-giving makes no sense.
Too late.
Let's say that I go out and I spend $50 on you. Well, it's a laborious activity because I have to imagine what you need, whereas you know what you need. Now, I could simplify things, just give you the $50 directly, and then you could give me $50 on my birthday, and so on until one of us dies, leaving the other one old and $50 richer. And I ask you, is it worth it?
Told you not to ask. She doesn't want to talk.
Not surprising. Penny's emotional responses originate in the primitive portion of the brain known as the amygdala, while speech is centered in the much more recently developed neocortex. The former can easily overpower the latter, giving scientific credence to the notion of being rendered speechless. Or maybe she just doesn't want to talk.
Show me your citrus peels. Gevo can nion chinpi. Show me.
Sheldon?
Hiya! Just the water!
I'm sorry. Look, do you have a second?
A second what? Pair of underwear?
I was just wondering if I could talk to you. It's about Leonard.
Why me? Why not Kuthrapali or Wallowitz?
Well, Raj can't talk to me unless he's drunk, and Wallowitz is, you know, disgusting.
Yes, I suppose he is.
All I'm saying is you know Leonard the best.
Not necessarily. I'm often surprised by my lack of familiarity with Leonard. Yet just the other day I discovered he not only has a loofah, he hides it. Why do you suppose a man would be ashamed of having a loofah? I myself prefer to have my excess epithelial cells slough off naturally, but I don't condemn those who seek to accelerate the process. And until recently, I had no idea that despite his lactose intolerance, he can tolerate small amounts of non-fat ice cream without producing a noxious gas that I maintain in the right concentration could be weaponized.
Leonard might come home. Can we talk in my apartment?
We're not done?
Sheldon, do you have anything to say that has anything to do with, you know, what I'm talking about?
Well, let's see. We might consider Schrodinger's cat.
Schrodinger. Is that the woman in 2A?
No, that's Mrs. Grossinger. And she doesn't have a cat. She has a Mexican hairless, annoying little animal. Yip, yip, yip.
Sheldon!
Sorry, you diverted me. Anyway, in 1935, Erwin Schrödinger, in an attempt to explain the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum physics, he proposed an experiment where a cat is placed in a box with a sealed vial of poison that will break open at a random time. Now, since no one knows when or if the poison has been released, until the box is opened, the cat can be thought of as both alive and dead.
I'm sorry, I don't get the point.
Well, of course you don't get it. I haven't made it yet. You have to be psychic to get it, and there's no such thing as psychic.
Sheldon, what's the point?
Just like Schrodinger's cat, your potential relationship with Leonard right now can be thought of as both good and bad. It is only by opening the box that you'll find out which it is.